is Tom's World Beer Tour, a podcast story featuring Tom Bowman and Tom Bradley. Now, crack one open and let the tour begin.
My, oh my. It's time for another podcast, time for another beer. Or time for another beer, time for another podcast. I'm not sure which.
Well, they go hand in hand.
What do you got going on over there?
This, my friend, is a Kentucky mule.
A Kentucky mule. I'm from Missouri. We got mules in Missouri.
You've heard of a Moscow mule?
I have.
That's vodka, ginger beer, and lime. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of a Mexican mule?
I thought a Moscow mule was the mule that somebody else pays for, and then the government tells you have to ride.
That means you got to put balloons up your ass. You're thinking of that kind of mule, where they put drugs in balloons and they stick it up your ass?
I'm not putting balloons up my ass.
I mean, that's what a mule is, right?
I don't. Oh, I see what you did. I thought you wanted me to make a little doggy out of that balloon. I'm like, I'm not that talented back there. I can't.
No.
I can't.
I don't want to see your balloon or your balloon knot.
Tell me about this thing. I'm drinking a beer. What the hell are you drinking? You're drinking a
Kentucky Mule.
Kentucky
so this
Mule.
is 3 ounces of bourbon. Well, actually, in this case, it's Bullet Rye because I think the spiciness of rye goes better with the ginger beer.
All right.
So 3 ounces of whiskey of some sort and ginger beer. Mm-hmm. And then a squeeze of fresh lime, and you drop the lime in, and you swish it around. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's in this beautiful metal pewter cup keeps it all icy cold.
Isn't that cold on your hand too?
No,
do you need like a?
No,
I'm not going to touch your cup. That's not going to happen.
I only touched the rim.
Well, I don't care what rim job you're doing. That's not going to be a part of what I'm getting.
So,
into.
anyways, I like it.
It's frosty on the outside.
Frosty.
Isn't that cold to hold?
No.
No.
I got frostbite apparently.
Okay.
No, it's good, and this is a great. I like bourbon, but when you sit up by the barbecue and you've got a regular nice glass like this, and it's got neat, and you're neat, it looks stupid. You're at the barbecue like, hey.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It's dumb. It's so stupid. And if I drop this, these are crystal glasses. That would suck.
Now wait a second. You like your whiskey. You like your bourbons, right? You like these things.
I do like these.
Well, wouldn't you? I know.
I don't know if you're
so
aware.
What's wrong with walking out to the
barbecue?
pit with a little tiny ice cube in there and two fingers of.
But how about
right.
when you walk up to the barbecue with this? You got a drink that you can sip on for a little while. This is good for an hour. I got ice in here. It's gonna stay nice and cold.
You're sure you're not embarrassed by this drink because you're keeping it in a vessel that I can't see through. You're hiding it.
No, I like it. It's like, no, this is seltzer.
Yeah. And then you go on from there. I am drinking a beer. I'm drinking an IPA, but it's not. This is only a tailgate beer, so I don't want to get into it.
Well, it is Tom's World Beer Tour because, once again, beer and other libations is what leads you and I to great conversation.
I mean, it's simply a vehicle we ride.
It is.
Can I tell you about riding a vehicle today and the damn traffic out there?
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Is that why we're an hour late taping?
We are going to talk about vehicular action, but it's not going to be 4 wheels or 18. It's going to be 2 wheels, right? 2-wheeled conveyance.
We're excited about this because our friend, and he's not ready to come on yet. He's getting all excited. Mm-hmm. Our friend, the Bad Roadie, Chris Kendrick, just got back on a week-long motorcycle ride with another friend of the show, Jim Kimbell, Crazy Jim, who should be bolting through my door any minute now, down the stairs.
So at any point during the show, he's just going to come down and grab a headset also and jump in?
You're going to hear him. He's going to have that cackle, the whole thing. He's going to show up.
Oh, yeah.
They went on a motorcycle ride together, which we have done rides together. We have done rides with Chris. I have done rides with Jim. We've all done these great rides.
They did thousands, probably thousands of miles?
They did a lot of miles, so we'll get there. So we'll talk about it.
So we'll chat about it.
So anyway, so we're coming off. We did not have a show last week.
Right.
So for those of you that went to Apple, iHeart, Spotify, you did not see a new episode, but there were plenty of older episodes. So hopefully you just went, oh, well, I never heard Vi from the winery, or I never heard Sean Kelly, or I never heard any of these great people. Mm-hmm. So we gave you a week to play catch up, and now we're back.
We are back. I want to talk about a couple of things. One, I want to talk about what you did during this week off. And then I also want to mention, before we get into today's episode, a couple of ideas we have for upcoming episodes.
I've got some good ones.
All right, so let's talk about what you did this weekend. It was the first week of college football Saturday night. How'd I do?
You did good.
Thank you.
You did good, yeah.
From Learfield Sports with you and Kate Scott and Mike Golick. You guys are on the booth together. You're doing the Houston, Texas Tech game?
We did. So it was opening weekend, and it was neutral site. So it was Houston hosting Texas Tech, but it was played at NRG Stadium, which is the Texans' home.
Because of Ida?
No, they do this. Like week one, they'll do a lot of these neutral site games. Like Clemson, Georgia was in Charlotte.
So Houston's listed as the home team.
Yeah, they're still the home team.
But out of the goodness of their soul, they went to a neutral site.
Yeah, they would have preferred. Dana Holgrenson, who's the head coach of Houston, would have preferred to have played at his actual home stadium.
Yeah.
But, dude, we were in a huge dome. Here's what sucks, though. We were 8 stories up. The broadcast level for radio, 8 stories up from the field.
Which you and I have been in a booth like that.
Kansas City.
At Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah, at Arrowhead.
And Kevin Harlan from CBS Sports, right? He was calling the game, and he's like, at a break, he looked over and he's like, dudes, I can't see a damn thing up here.
You can't pick a number out. You have to look at the monitor, and you got to have binoculars. Now, here's what's great. College football Saturday night, you can consume this a couple different ways, right? We're on radio stations all over the country.
Yeah.
There's this thing that I would love to promote for 2 seconds. It's called the Varsity Network app.
Just type in, if you're going to look for the app, the Varsity.
The Varsity, right? And so it sort of looks like that V. You're looking for that white V right there, which means I probably screwed up the focus on my camera. Nope, good. All right, so you go there. This is our app. Our company created this. This is free. The download is free, and you get to listen to all your favorite college football teams, not just teams that we produce, but teams that are streamed by another company of ours.
Now, I downloaded this thing, and it was free, but I'm just like, when is it going to start coming? When is it going to be like, hey, man, it's just $1.99 a month now.
It's never going to
Now
do
that we
that.
got you on the line.
Never.
Now that we got you hooked in.
Never.
We got you.
It's free forever.
That's what it's gonna. You know what it's like? They're sports pushers.
But you know why it's free? It's because we have ads in the bottom that run. We don't care. And
All
it
right.
doesn't. And so with this app, go download this app. Pick your favorite team. You'll get push notifications of when your broadcast is going to start.
I used it. I used it for my college football team, and then I started listening to your game.
And you can pick college football Saturday night.
Yeah.
And you can go on Facebook, College Football Saturday Night, and YouTube, College Football Saturday Night, and watch the live streaming booth cam, which I have to be honest with you. So I've never worked with Kate Scott before, and I've never worked with Mike Golick before, and they've never worked together before. You would have never known that listening to the game. And watching them in the booth, you get to see they're using their flip chart, and we have a stats guy in the middle. That's the guy that was
working
putting
really
notes
hard.
up.
But look, they're pros, and they know what the deal is. But I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to is when that chemistry builds between the two of them. Because you and I have worked with too many teams in radio and broadcasting over these years, and we know when they're doing a good job, and we know when they're like, oh my God, it's an old machine that you can't even explain.
I'll be honest with you.
They will get there.
They not only will they get there, they are farther ahead than a lot of people are.
Yes.
Kate is such a pro, and Mike is such a pro. And, the three of us together figuring out that broadcast, and, my hand was in the camera a lot of time. That's how people knew it was me. They just looked for my watch because I stand behind Golick.
Why are you shoving your hand in front of the camera?
Well, because I don't want to be on the camera, and I stand behind Golick because my job is to keep things going. I talk in people's ears, I give cues, and I give her things like, hey, read this 5-hour energy, or hey, we're going to take a break. And so Mike, first of all, Golick is freaking huge. He's skinny, not skinny, but he's in great
he lost
shape.
a bunch of weight. He went on what program was he on? By the way,
he did Nutrisystem, but he doesn't do that anymore.
Okay.
Now he owns. There's something called Orange. There's some gyms called Orange Theory. Well, he owns a couple of them in Boston, and so he goes to Orange Theory and he does cardio and weights and stuff. So he's in great shape.
Right.
But he's still, dude. He's 4 inches taller than me.
And you're a big gender.
And
you're
I'm
a big
6'1", 255. He's taller and bigger than me. And I'm standing next to him, but I can't see Kate unless I take a step back.
Well, she's probably a lot
5'4".
smaller. Yeah.
So I have to hand card. So what you see is Kate getting a card. It's my arm around Golick, and
then she has to be like, that was a heck of a play. Don't forget, 5-hour energy will keep you up and going all night like this offense is charging down the field right now.
Or she has a thing that says we're going to take a break. We'll be back. You're listening to College Football Saturday Night, powered by Learfield.
Can we tease that? Can we go from that?
Yes.
By the way, you did a great job. You guys all did a great job.
Thanks.
I want to ask you more about that later on.
Sure.
But can we use that and roll right into the fact that we would like to have both of them on Tom's World Beer Tour at some point?
So I have planted a seed with both of them. So Kate Scott, I would love to have come on because she is one of these amazing female voices in the college space, which is very male-dominated.
Right.
Her career is blowing up. We're very lucky to have her for these 13 weeks of games. A week ago, she was flown out to interview with a NBA team to be their TV person.
And?
We haven't heard yet. So she's got that going on. There's some other things that we have in the hopper. I'd like to use her
what
somewhere
NBA
else.
team is it? Well, I want you to tell.
I can't tell you. Not with this.
You said she was flown out. Where does she live?
Well, she lives in California.
So
it's not a California team. She lives in Northern California.
Where the girls are warmer, by the way.
Well, it was not a Northern California school.
All right,
or
not
team.
Northern California.
So anyway, Kate's going to come on, and she's a bourbon girl, and she also drinks beer. And then Mike Golick, who I saw Mike in the lobby, and Mike had made a comment. We did a video chat with the bar behind me.
Yeah.
And Mike's response was, "Holy shit, is that coming with us on the road?" Which I thought, well, then he's a bourbon guy. So I actually brought a brand new bottle in my bag
for him,
for us to enjoy, to celebrate. And so I said, "Hey man, I got a bottle of bourbon." He goes, "Oh, I'm not a bourbon guy." Oh, he goes, "I'm a beer guy."
Wow.
Lots and lots and lots of beer.
Do you know what kind of beer he leans
toward?
Well,
here's what's funny. We go to dinner. At Cheesecake Factory was next door. It's a pretty easy place to go, and they usually have something. So Mike sits down, the waitress comes over, and she says, "Can I get you guys some cocktails?" He goes, "I'll make it real simple for you. Bring me anything local." Sound familiar? Sound like somebody else I know?
Well, that's the way that I am.
And that's how Mike is.
Which, by the way, that's the way you are with restaurants.
Exactly.
You know, and which I highly salute. When you go someplace,
what's local?
It's like, hey, you want to go to McDonald's, Burger King? You're like, what the hell are you talking about?
I want a hole-in-the-wall joint. Now, Cheesecake Factory's a good default. It was taxed to the
that's
hotel.
fine. That's fine.
So anyways, we sit down, and she goes, "Sure, I'll be right back." So she brought him a beer. She puts it down. He goes, "Oh, what is this?" And she goes, now, mind you, we're in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, it's Modelo."
Okay.
Okay, I know you bought it locally. That doesn't mean it's a local beer.
That sounds like she's from New England, and she goes, "I'm pretty sure this is local to Houston."
Was,
it's like, no.
No, I don't think she was from New England. She looked like a Houston local.
Yeah. Modelo is local, but not to Houston. It's local somewhere else. Something is local. Everything's local somewhere.
Yeah. So
right?
anyway, so he drank that, and then Kate and I ordered. We said, "How about this?" There was Hopzilla, which is a local IPA. So I found out from Mike he loves all sorts of beer. He likes IPA, but he doesn't like fruity IPAs.
Okay.
So that blows out a lot of the beers.
So he likes hoppy.
He likes hoppy. We had a couple of these Hopzillas, and then the next night after the broadcast, we get back to the hotel. The bars were closed, but the hotel was a Westin, so it had the little, the gift shop.
Yeah.
So we open up the fridge, and so I pull out a beer. I go, "Kate, what do you want?" And so she picked some lager, and I picked an IPA. And Mike's like, "I don't know. I hand him one. He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to need two." So he walked away with
Of course he is. Of course he's a smart guy.
So Golick at some point is going to come on this show with us.
So it'll be more along the lines of bourbon and whiskey with Kate Scott.
No, she'll drink beer.
Okay, but Golick for sure is going to be. And by the way, I think for those people that don't know you, if you wanted to name drop, there could be 50, 60 different people you could name drop. You're working with these guys right now, and they're going to join us in the show, hopefully this fall.
Well, we've talked about it. So sometime in the next 12 weeks, I think I want to get a couple more shows under our belt so we're all comfortable. And then I'd like Kate to come on first, and then maybe a couple weeks later, Mike.
A couple more shows of college football Saturday night.
I just want to make
sure
that
this, because this is as good as we get.
This is golden. We peaked like weeks ago. This show's all downhill.
That's everything. Okay, now a couple of the other shows coming up that we want to work on.
Yes.
I texted today just back and forth to you. One is we've got a really good friend and an associate, a partner on several projects I've worked on. What he and his wife do together is...
Wait, what kind of show are we doing?
Yeah, well, this is going to be really good. We're going to need some more camera angles. Let's talk about this thing. What they do is they consult businesses, including breweries that are out there. And so it's craftbeverageconsultants.com. And they've worked with brewers across the nation. I want to find out before, during the pandemic, where we are now, and what's the most bitchin' thing going on in the brewing industry.
Love it.
And he's full of knowledge and energy. So keeping him in one episode, we're going to have to have whips and chains and be whipping him.
No,
so,
love to do that show.
Okay. The other one, I don't have a lead on.
I do.
Okay, let me describe it. You tell me if you want to. I think we should bring a weed master in, a dispensary professional that can talk about what it's like and what you're looking for and what you're not looking for when it comes to marijuana sales, both medicinal and recreational right now.
I'm good with that because in the state of Missouri, I have a medical marijuana license, and there is a dispensary in town that I really love called Green Relief. And so I've talked with them a little bit. I need to reach back out to them again. We like to do shows on site. I'm not convinced they would let us do the show inside of there. It would be fun because it smells like a party when you walk in to go pick up.
Does it smell like just pure
Yeah.
Weed, that's it?
It's great.
Like,
it smells amazing.
Welcome to Skunk City.
It smells amazing. It smells like my high school parties I went to.
I bet it does.
So anyways, they're one of the dispensaries that I like because I wouldn't say it's clinical, but it's very much retail. In other words, you do have to go in and show your ID, and if you've been there before, they double check and they see you on the screen. They have a picture of you, and then you walk into like a holding lobby where they have displays.
The picture of you, are you already stoned? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
is that bad? Are you like, dude?
No, when I walk in after work, they look at me and they go, "This isn't you." And then I do this face. I go, and they go, "Oh shit, it is you." Okay.
And then there you go.
And then they
you have a
in.
card.
I do.
And you visit. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
There may come a day that I will need one.
I at some point this state will be recreational. I hope. But it's all supply and demand.
I will not party.
I was also told
I'm going to be drinking beer. You'll be firing it up.
I'm doing it mostly to sleep. I take gummies to go to bed, and it helps my back. But I also have a hybrid that if I want to feel like I had 5 bourbons, but I don't feel like drinking 5 bourbons, I can take one of these hybrid gummies, and for like 5 hours, I'm just chilled. I'm relaxed. I'm watching TV, and then I just doze off.
Wow. But I do that with 5 bourbons, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but then I've got 5 bourbons in my belly, and I'm like, that's a lot of sugar.
Me and my belly are fine with all that stuff.
So
but
anyway,
you know what?
But
I want to see it from their perspective.
I think it's great.
Because I've talked about it on my radio show for a long time from the outside perspective. I've asked people that use both medicinally and recreational, and I want to hear from the professional behind the scenes.
No, I want to do that too. And then there's another one that I want to do. I don't think we even talked about this. So I have some friends that I work with. Everybody's doing podcasts, and they do a podcast called The Old 77. They were all born in 1977. And these guys that work with me do a podcast, and I said, let's do a crossover event.
Now, do we simply bring them on our show and us on theirs?
No,
or
we record them both together.
Live?
Yeah. Well, we do live to tape, but we're recording with our stuff.
No, but I mean, we're talking to them. We're both producing our own podcast.
Yeah, and then we feed our audio to them and their audio to us, and their cameras.
Actually,
and our cameras,
in radio, live radio shows, I've only done it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
In my history, and that's many years.
And these are guys in Jeff City, so we'll need to find a Jeff City location, which we think we found one. So, but anyways,
then we have a couple places locally we're going to hit that will be out on their patios because it's patio season right now. And I'll mention them for the folks that are local to Central Missouri. One is Shiloh's, now under new ownership with Nick Parks.
Oh my gosh, that guy's going to be amazing.
Yeah, he's doing great. So I want to go out there, and plus we have that
show at Silver Ball too.
That'd be fine with me.
It's an adult arcade.
And do the frozen drinks they have.
Oh my God, the food's supposed to be amazing.
And then we have Oktoberfest coming up for everybody across the world, but locally, so we have our own new festival forming here, which brings up the fact.
Wait, are you part of that?
A little bit. Gunther Hans.
Gunther
Hans is a part of that. And they've got a courtyard patio, dude, that's amazing.
Oh, we love patios.
So we're going to go there in the next month or so.
Well, let's not forget that the shows that we do here at the Bowman Bar will move to the outdoor screen porch as well.
That's right. Which actually it's nice outside. Do you mind if I go ahead and go for a conversational beer?
I think you should. And let's bring up our guest today. Needs no introduction.
You sure?
It's the Bad Roadie.
Yeah, but most people don't know him by sight. They only know him by name. They're like, so that's the Bad Roadie?
Yeah. I'm the Bad Roadie.
And the ladies are like, he's a good-looking son of a bitch.
I think I saw him in a tub in a Cialis commercial. Hey, do me a favor, turn around and put your arms out.
Like your
Cialis.
That's him.
That's him right there. Yeah.
Do you use Cialis or
no?
Do you have not. No. I know he was in the commercial. Do you have to use Cialis to be in the commercial, or do they give you like a supply?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think it does.
What do you mean you don't think so? I know you were in the commercial. Don't act like that.
No.
You were in the Cialis commercial. Yeah, there was the real hottie next to you. And what they do is they take a guy like you. You look like you have the ears because of the gray.
Mm-hmm.
But you got that sparkle in your eye like, honey, I'm like a 22-year-old racehorse back here.
He's slim, he's tall, he's got a nice head of hair.
He looks good.
No, I don't need Cialis yet. I'm sure one day.
Now that's...
Yeah. It's what they call a silver fox. For you kids that are watching, this is what we would refer to as a silver fox.
Right here. I'm going to pull out our conversational beer before I forget because the last couple episodes I've forgotten. Guys, I mentioned Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest beers are meant to be served in September and into October.
Sure.
I didn't realize that until very recently.
You're kidding me.
Well, they kept bringing it out in August, and I'm like, get that crap out of my way.
You are the promoter of one of the largest beer festivals in the state of Missouri.
I know. And with that comes a great deal of responsibility. And the fact of the matter is I didn't realize they started drinking these in September. So here we are, September. Celebrate the harvest, celebrate Oktoberfest.
Right.
I have reached back. I went out of market, and I'm bringing you guys And you're going to see it with the markings on the can. That is an Oktoberfest beer, and this is from Sierra Nevada.
Oh, awesome.
Whoa,
See?
you're bringing
Good
it back
stuff.
to my home, California.
Chris, here you
Look
are.
at you.
Oh, this is good stuff.
All right.
Well, and I've never had
Amber
this one
Marzen.
specifically.
No, I've not had this one either. I am so Sierra Nevada, some would consider Sierra Nevada the godfather of craft beer.
Yes. And so for them to put out the Oktoberfest is a great idea.
This is a Northern California staple, Sierra Nevada.
Can you do me? Can I call an audible here?
Can you do me? Is that what you just
Can
said?
you do me?
No.
I'm going to call an audible. Can you do me? What about a couple more beers?
Would you
How
give
many
meals have I had? For
Would you
God's
give
sakes?
me some level of a clear glass at this time? Doesn't have to be large, just a little bit.
No.
Because it's marked as an amber Marzen. How do you say Marzen?
I was going to ask you.
Märzen.
You want to say with a T in it?
Märzen?
Märzen.
I'm telling you, that is how you pronounce it.
I'm not arguing. I'm
It's
telling
Märzen.
you.
Märzen.
I've had a lot of people
So there you go.
say
There's
the
there's
word
a
to me.
delicious clear glass.
Pour
Look
that
at
off and see how this looks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
That's
Well, I
delightful.
think they're calling
Cheers.
Cheers.
He took a drink before we.
that's
toasted, by the
a
way.
reasonable. I haven't drank any.
No, he
I,
did.
Did I create a faux pas there?
Yeah.
If you guys can see this, that's a reasonable small pour, and yet there's a lot of deepness, a lot of dark in there.
Yeah, but it's not a heavy beer at all.
No. I just wanted to see it because it looks beautiful. I might have to pour this in the glass.
Oktoberfest
Completely.
Amber Märzen. Märzen is how you
That
say
is
it.
very good.
Welcome to Oktoberfest then. Chris, you're with us almost every week behind the scenes working out. He named you the Bad Roadie,
Yes.
but you were on time, and I was almost an hour late today. Explain that to me. Go on
Well,
while I drink.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. So I was at a photo shoot, so I had I had time.
A photo shoot.
Yeah,
photo
it's
shoot,
porn,
yeah.
right?
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
Well, that's kind of going back to the Cialis thing, right?
Right.
Wait, do you go from the Cialis set to the porn set? Is that
Yeah,
the order?
yeah,
'Cause you
that's
can't
how
go
it
the
goes,
other
yeah.
way.
Wait, which way do you go first? If you had to shoot Cialis and porn, which one would you shoot first?
I think he'd go Cialis first.
Yeah.
wouldn't he?
You go Cialis, you take a lunch break, and then you show up at the porn set.
What would you have for lunch between the two, if you were to do this ever?
Tacos.
And
Is
there
that-
we have that. And there we have that now. No,
We've got-
seriously,
Seriously?
you're in a place in your life where you get to call the shots, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
For some people think you're retired, and all it really means is you're now doing whatever you want to do, and you decided to add in things like photography at a professional level and a drone operator. You're a drone pilot.
That's right. Yeah.
We've had him on the show with the drone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I worked 33 years in a career, and I became eligible, and and it was like to the point where I don't really need to do this any longer.
Well, let's be honest. It was a government job.
It's a government job.
You said, you take
You-
this job and shove
No,
it.
you like
I
the
did.
job. You like the job, though, right?
I liked the job up until the last, couple of years, and so that's kind of when things, I decided I didn't need this any longer.
He Johnny Paychecked it.
And so, yeah, I did. I did my time, so to speak. And I became eligible, and I'm like, I've
Did you always have the longer hair and the beard action when you worked there in the office?
Yeah, in fact, I wore flip-flops, for the past 5 years. So I would go to all these meetings.
What a job.
And I would just show up in flip-flops, and nobody ever would
You
ever
mean
say.
like a video conferencing, or you actually showed up
I
at
would
the
show
meeting?
up. I would show up at these larger headquarter events, and I would just show up in flip-flops. And of course, I had a collar. I would wear this. I had a collar shirt on and jeans.
A collared shirt. You're like,
Yeah.
hey man, this is dress. There's a collar on this thing.
Yeah,
Come
so,
on.
and I would wear flip-flops. I was like, what are you going to do to me?
Was anybody else doing that, or was it only you?
No, I was the only one.
You were the rebel bastard.
I was.
Look
That's
at him.
But I was like,
awesome.
He's got rebel
Can
written
we-
all
get-
over him.
I
Get
had-
over here.
I
Get
had-
over here. Give me some of that action.
Look at that.
Come
cheers,
on now.
Cheers.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
I was like, I
Good
was
for
I was
you.
within. I realized that I had like 5 years to go before I could retire, and I'm like, well, they aren't going to do anything to me, So, and I had a really good boss and a good team, but I felt like that I could afford, to just say screw you, and I'm going to do this.
I think that's good. But I will tell you that in my career, it's a little bit like, God, what the hell quote am I thinking of? When you get to a certain point, I'm thinking of Bull Durham. Like when you're a pitcher and you're kicking ass, you can have bullshit looking flip-flops or whatever, shower shoes.
Yeah, it's
right?
like when you get in the pro, when you get in the show, you can let fungus grow on your flip flops, and you will be
and
colorful.
then you're interesting. You're colorful.
And you're colorful.
Well,
but
I have-
until then, you're a slob.
I have found that in my career because now I can wear flip-flop shorts and a T-shirt any time of the year to anything I want to.
Right.
And at my age, people are like, no, it's okay. I mean, he's good because I've already earned my stripes.
Right.
And you don't have to wear your stripes on a damn uniform.
Right.
And so finally I'm to the point that I wanted to start off in the beginning of my career, which was wearing anything I was comfortable in. Why is it that people in these jobs demand you to wear something uncomfortable to prove that you're professional?
That's a good question. You know, I think a lot of it is in the beginning that if you show up, you know, and, you know, if you aren't established as, if you don't have a reputation, if you don't have an established history of work and credibility, then how you look, how you present kind of go against you. You know,
so
it's
you're in a T-shirt, you're a slacker, and you don't care.
Right. You may be viewed as someone who really doesn't care about the environment, care about who you're working with, you know, care about the work, you know, care about showing up.
That's what they think.
That's what they think.
When, as a matter of fact, you could be the top notch in caring or in professionalism when it comes to the actual job you're doing.
Right. It's sad, but that's kind of the way things were. I think now today, and my sons are examples of that. I mean, my son, he wears sleeveless T-shirts every day. I mean, that's kind of, you know, what he would probably go to work in if he could. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he's a hard worker. He does his job. He, you know, does everything that's asked of him, you know, and so he produces. And I think that's kind of where I got toward the end. It's like I'm established as a professional. I get the work done. So, you know, if I show up in flip-flops, I'm like, so, you know, what's your problem with it?
All right, let's play point counterpoint.
All right.
If you work at Hot Dog on a Stick in the mall, you have to wear the uniform.
The hot dog on a stick,
show up
red. It's got the hot dog.
With the
it's
hat,
got the thing,
and they make the lemonade.
Right,
like
right. And then once an hour, you got to take the hot dog on the stick and go, look at my wiener.
Right. You're not wearing flip-flops. You have so there is a reason for uniforms in some cases. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
just checking.
I guess if you're on a sports team, we got to know which team's which.
Right. Now, I will tell you in my office, same way. We wear jeans and shorts. You're allowed to wear a T-shirt. Prefer that it's one of our schools type T-shirts, you know.
This is such a stupid thing for us to get off into, but let's go there, can we?
Sure.
The jacket, tie, and dress shirt for a man.
It's dumb.
If he doesn't wear that into a business meeting, well, who the hell is he?
Who are you, Don Draper?
And then the worst thing is a woman. What does she choose to wear? Is it a pantsuit? Well, what is that saying about her? It's got to be a skirt to show she's feminine. If it's too high, she's trying to buy her way with her feminine, you know, wares. If it's
too low.
If it's too low, she's your Aunt Agnes.
Right.
It's like, and she's graded so harshly. She puts on a blouse that's comfortable, and they're like, I can see her breasts from here. And it's like, why do we get like this? Just let people wear what they want to wear, and let's see what they fucking produce.
But see, I think we're getting there now. We're getting to what we used to call business casual, and I think it's sort of going out the window. More and more businesses are doing away with coat and tie, and things like, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but I own a pair of these Lululemon men's pants.
Okay, hold on a second. I got to see these.
I don't have them on now.
What
I'm
the
wearing
hell
shorts right now.
You said Lululemon?
Okay, so Lululemon is a company that was making women's yoga pants for a long time.
Oh, that's hard to believe.
I know. So now they make men's pants, but they're more like these golf pants. So they're a little bit stretchy, but they look like a khaki type pant.
Yeah.
But they're tapered at the bottom, so they fit nice and loose. And it's the acceptable now.
Okay, all right. Now I have a pair that's close to that. Do you sometimes have a package problem in that thing?
No, because you buy the right size.
Wait a second. You got waist, inseam, and package size? Is that like all in the same deal?
Well, I don't know what store you go to, but I tend to try them on, make sure that, you know, I don't have.
Look, he's giving you some hip movement. He's like,
make
sure, you know.
All I'm thinking of is Duluth Trading, you know, where they're talking about.
I love that. Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's kind of the norm now. It's like Nike makes golf pants and Adidas. So
I got a pair of Nike golf pants. The wind blows through them, and they look like khakis. And they are sweet. They're wonderful.
Correct. And that is an exception.
You can't go commando in them.
No, you
because
cannot.
People are going to see everything God gave you.
So a pair of like Nike golf pants and a polo is acceptable business attire now, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, but it's like you made a comment about the two of us before we started the podcast tonight about us having collared shirts on. Like it's it's like
you
oh
two
my God,
jokers
they're collared
never
shirts.
You two jokers never show up.
Look at his collar. It's flapped across your leg.
We don't.
You guys normally show. So I came home from wearing a polo and shorts to work, and I changed into a Harley T-shirt because that's sort of the show. And then you two jokers show up like you're out on a mission. You're like on a Mormon mission. You guys are wearing your collars and your short sleeve
all we
shirts.
want to do is preach a little bit of the word to you and see if you can accept
Can
this.
we give you the word of beer?
So it's interesting to hear you going into these last couple of years of your career and going, I'm just going to wear you wore a T-shirt and flip-flops.
No, I never wore T-shirts.
College shirt, flip-flops.
So yeah. So, I mean, I was always.
I mean, it was a government job, for God's sakes. Who cares if they saw his toes? They didn't want to see his neck.
It was a government job.
Yes, it was.
Federal government.
Yes, federal.
What you were doing
Our government.
Yes.
Okay.
Afghanistan.
Just checking.
When you say ours, you mean Afghanistan?
Sometimes other countries pay more. I'm just saying.
What you were doing had a lot of depth on this thing. It was very, very important. A lot of bureaucracy built in as well.
Oh yeah.
Was it the bureaucracy that told you, sooner or later I got to stop this thing?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I think what you guys and what everybody really expects is that then when something is budgeted or planned, oftentimes it's 4 or 5, even 10 years planning in project. Well, lately with government, everything is cyclical just to the year. So it's and what really got frustrating, for the past 10 years, it seems like that Congress wouldn't approve a budget until well into the beginning, well into you're already in the fiscal year. So fiscal year begins October 1. I don't want to bore you with all this crap.
No, you're not boring us, but it's
so
a reminder to people who are listening. When we hear about it, all we're hearing is like, oh, the government's shutting down, nobody's getting paid. It's like, no, that's not it. We're delaying making decisions, which delays you doing your job.
Oh, absolutely. So a lot of times, so fiscal year begins October 1, where you may not get a budget until January, February, or even March.
You've already spent all your money by then.
And so you're basically stuck doing nothing. You're just maintaining and holding, for 3 or 4 months. For one year, it went as far as 6, maybe 8 months, where you were just on current year or past year budget. So then what happens once they approve a budget, then they say, okay, you got to do all this work in the 3 or 4 months left in the fiscal year or the 6 months left in the fiscal year.
And it can't happen.
And it can't happen. It never does. And then the next cycle, somebody else comes in and decides, okay, we want you to focus on this. So you never can get into a pattern of doing work because you really only had less than a year to do anything, and then the next year it changes.
So I don't want to go too serious on the whole thing, but to get away from what you were doing for a living, because I don't want to talk about your department. Let's say it's something else, okay? Let's say it's Food and Drug Administration. Let's say there's a new drug coming out, and they want to do some research on that.
You mean like a vaccine?
Something like that.
No.
And they want to do something on it. Those involved allocated funds that were being emergency released.
Right.
But let's say it's something.
Mm-hmm.
If they're working off the last budget, they also can't start the new stuff till the new budget comes in. So now they're just spinning their wheels for 1 month, 6 months.
They don't know what they can spend. That's the problem.
And they're not, but they're also not authorized to spend money on this particular subject matter.
Exactly.
Right.
So it gets crazy.
So then you get fed up like he does, and you get the hell out.
Did you let your flip-flops get stinky? Because that would be the thing. You're like, you sons of bitches, smell this thing.
Yeah.
So you say, screw it. Me and my flip-flops are leaving.
Pretty much.
And now I'm going to do whatever I want, which includes getting on a motorcycle.
Yep.
Whenever you want.
Taking pictures.
With Crazy Jim, who my ring doorbell hasn't gone off yet, so he's not here.
I don't know.
No, the ring doorbell will go off when he's here. And then you guys just, hey, we're going to go away for a week.
Yep.
We're going to road trip for a week.
My favorite phrase is now every day is Saturday.
I love it.
Does it feel like that to you?
Yeah. I don't know what day of the week it is anymore. I mean, honestly.
And it's not because you get up and you do nothing.
No, it's just because every day is the same for me, and that's not a bad thing. It's like, okay, today's just another day. What am I going to do today?
And so you came over here today to hang with us.
Well, you did other things today. You went to a real estate shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I had some photography things. And
okay.
But so with the photography thing, I've told this company that I'm working for, it's like, really, I'm available 7 days a week because it really doesn't matter to me what day of the week it is.
You really don't care.
I don't care.
Unless it lands on something that's scheduled.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I have those things,
Have you ever woken up and had to think for a second, what day is this?
Absolutely.
How great is that?
I mean, that's it. And you didn't say every day's Monday or every day's Friday.
No,
you said every day's Saturday.
Right.
As a kid, Saturday was.
Yeah. Saturday, no school, no church.
As an adult, it's the same
big
thing.
bowl of Cheerios or Fruit Loops right in front of
Cartoons
the TV.
in the morning.
Did you guys like Cheerios? Because I did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like Cheerios. Did you put anything on it?
No.
Bananas ever? Bananas?
No.
Strawberry? The picture on the Cheerios box had strawberries on there.
No,
and it only pissed me off when I really looked at it. I'm like, son of a bitch, I would like a strawberry right now in here. Because it looks good on it.
No, you know what I really liked?
What?
My mom would buy graham crackers, right? So there'd be a 4-pack of graham crackers. There'd be like a stack of them.
Right.
And you take out like half of that stack and you crumble it up in a bowl. And you pour a little milk on top of that.
You made cereal out of that?
Oh, yeah.
Son of a bitch. That sounds good.
That whole graham cracker cereal, that's bullshit.
Well, no, wait a second. Golden Grahams. They said something.
That's bullshit.
It's not bullshit because their marketing phrase was, it's going to be a golden day. And I believed it. God damn it.
Yeah, a bunch of people that were way older than you got in a room and went, hey, how do we get kids to eat this sugar cereal? What you do is you take actual graham crackers and you crumble them up so there's little chunks and
Did you ever do it with the ones that had the cinnamon sugar on top?
Of course.
God damn it.
And then you pour a little milk on there.
Tell me where you guys went on your motorcycle trip.
We went to Colorado. So we started off, so we trailered. We trailered to Silverton, Colorado.
Very smart move, by the way, to trailer so that you get more time to enjoy up in Colorado versus the long drive across Kansas, which sucks.
Which rained. It rained on us as we were driving across Kansas. So, that would have delayed us significantly.
Closed trailer, open trailer?
Closed.
Oh.
So we
look at this guy.
I know, he's got it going.
We trailered to Silverton. We found Jim actually found a city-owned park called Moles Lake Park, which was a few miles south of Silverton. It was a beautiful. The elevation is about 10,500 feet. Just gorgeous. I've got some great shots of.
So did you set up camp?
We set up camp.
All right, and then you basically you day tripped out of there.
Day tripped out of there for 2 days, and then there was a really bad storm expected to roll in, flash flooding. So we decided, okay, we'll go ahead and pack up camp. And Jim had a buddy, a school friend.
Wait, Kimbell went to school?
He did. And he's got a close friend who lived in Loveland.
He actually knows some people in high school right now, so it kind of worked out.
You know what I like about high school girls? I keep getting older, and they keep staying the same age.
All right.
So, yeah, we rode Silverton for a couple days, $1 Million Highway. We went to Gunnison, US 50, which is a beautiful stretch of road. Just gorgeous out there. And then we went to Loveland. And then his buddy took us on some roads around there, which was just phenomenal. We hit small towns we did the Left-Hand Canyon, which takes us up through towns like Jamestown and Ward, and a really cool town called Netherland, which hosts Frozen Dead Guy Days. Have you heard of that?
What?
Frozen Dead Guy Days. So the story
is to honor the people that they brought on.
No, the story is there was these two people, I forget what country they were from, either Switzerland or something. They had a grandfather who died, and so they froze him, and they brought him to the country, and the intent was to set up a cryogenic lab. And they landed in this town.
Their own outdoor cryogenic lab.
Right. I mean,
they wanted to set up a cryo lab in this town called Netherland. And so they set it up
Guess
there.
who's here?
They set it up there, and then every year they have this party, Frozen Dead Guy Days, where they celebrate this guy, who is basically still frozen.
Wait a second, he's still
frozen. 1.
Still
and
frozen.
There he is, and he makes his way into the podcast at this time.
Wait, you brought
liquor
liquor to my bar? Like, really?
Here you go. Get yourself some headphones over
Did
here.
he just say I brought the good shit to my bar?
That's what he said. And
Here's what I love about it. Now, you got to share the camera. You got to get close to him over here. You got to be on this camera.
Just go ahead and sit on his lap.
Yeah, just right there. You're good. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Now it's when
we
it
were
really
in total
begins.
control till about 2 seconds ago. Here's the nice thing. The Ring doorbell goes off. Look, I can literally see him on the Ring doorbell. I'm like, oh, geez, here it comes.
You brought an extra beer with you
What
as
did you bring, by the way? What did you bring us here? Oh, Jefferson, this is nice. You actually bought some good stuff.
That's some fine whiskey
over here,
for you.
brother.
My ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Kimbell has
You got to get over here or no one can see
has
you.
joined the
Maybe I don't
podcast
want to be
at this
seen.
time.
We have warrants from Colorado for our ass.
All right.
What do you mean you don't want to be seen?
We have warrants from Colorado.
Okay.
All right, so here's what you got to do. We're going to give you a crash course. Bring that mic in so it's close to your. There you go.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't kiss us anymore.
Did you ride over here? Are those your clears for riding? Oh, I see.
Okay.
Right.
Listen, we do have a conversational beer for you when you're ready. Here you go.
Yeah, put that Blue Moon away. We're going to give you something else from California.
Put that damn thing down. Take this.
Come on.
This is an Oktoberfest.
All right, so we're
Sierra
getting back
Nevada.
to Frozen Dead Guy days.
Frozen Dead Guy days, yeah.
All right, so explain this.
So they every year it's since 2012 I think they've been taking this guy out and they have this big party in March.
Wait. Once again, is this weekend at Bernie's? They bring some dead guy out that's frozen.
Then they bring him back in.
Yeah, they put
Literally,
him back in.
it's an actual frozen dead guy.
Frozen Dead Guy.
Do you guys go get your picture taken with him?
Is he in a box? Is he in a bag? Is he in a block of ice?
I have all the same questions. We didn't stick around long enough to really get there, but yeah.
How do you leave Frozen Dead Guy Day
I
and
would have
not
stayed.
see it?
But they've got this shed. I've got a photo of. They've got this shed out there, and I think he's supposedly in this shed.
Supposedly.
No, he's in the shed.
He's in the shed. Yeah.
He's in this shed right here.
Yeah.
Now bring
Here,
out the dead guy.
Let me see that. So the dead guy, bring out your dead. All right, so the dead guy is in this shed 364 days a year, and on the 365th day
In March, they have this big party in March.
Okay, so what happens when you go out there in August? Do you not get to see the dead guy?
He's in the shed.
He's in the shed.
Do you get to tour
Like
the
your
shed?
lawnmower, he's in the shed.
Can you tour the shed?
I don't think so.
And what did
hell
you
is
do
going on in
while he was in the
Colorado?
shed? Did you guys have a beer? Did you have some food there? What did you do in that
Do
time?
you put beers on his crotch and they get cold and then you drink the beers?
Wait a second, that works. Let's
That
talk
works,
about
huh?
that.
No, we just had breakfast and walked around town.
What
and-
if his frozen hands were like this, like they would hold two beers, and you stick your beers
I think it was like this. Though.
in his? Oh yeah, okay. Well, it's Colorado, so yeah. One hand is like this, like GI Joe Kung Fu grip, and the other one is holding the blunt.
Yeah, Mai Tai, Kung Fu grip. All right, so you guys had breakfast. What did you have for breakfast in a place like that?
They had this really good biscuits and gravy with eggs and
and a
sausage.
Bloody Mary.
And a
Bloody Mary.
Gotta
Well,
have a bloody.
he had two Bloody Marys.
Of course he did.
Duh.
Yeah, well, they were small. They were only 18 ounces. I understand.
Yeah.
So,
But no.
all right, so what are you looking for when you make a stop? You're looking for dead guys that are frozen? You're looking for good food? You're looking for a great scenic overlook? What are you guys
all that,
looking for?
all that. We're looking for all that. It's all good stuff. We hit the small town ward and and so we pulled through and hit the stop and Fish, the guy that was leading us, is like, so did you smell that skunk? And so apparently Ward is a huge hippie town where I mean it's like it's almost like a shanty town. But
It's
I
like
mean,
going
it
to
was,
Green Relief, like we talked about
but
earlier.
it was.
You
I mean,
walk in,
it looked like you were way up
Those
in the
weren't
mountain.
fern trees? I was confused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
they were.
They weren't fern trees?
They weren't fern trees. No,
When's the
I don't
last time
think
you
so.
smoked a fern tree?
But
This morning.
This morning.
It still didn't work. Let me. What states did you hit on your riding?
just Colorado.
It was all Colorado.
you didn't
just
make it
all
up. You didn't go to Wyoming, right?
Yes.
Oh
we
no,
did.
I'm sorry. We did go to Wyoming.
So
Yeah,
you
we-
lied
Wow.
to me just now.
I
No,
did.
listen. You just being in the state of Colorado, you inhale.
Pretty soon it's all
there's
hazy.
There's a really small
hey,
layer,
hey,
and you just.
got to watch the gummy bears, though.
Yeah, I gotta watch the gummies.
Watch the gummies.
Nothing
Tell
wrong
me the
with gummies.
difference, if you can remember
Between the
Wyoming.
gummies here and the gummies there, it's
Yep.
fucking amazing.
Tell me the difference, you guys, between Colorado and Wyoming. Do you notice a difference
Oh,
in
yeah.
the people in the towns? What is it? What is it?
Flat.
Nothing really there.
Wyoming.
Ranchers, more simple people.
Just plain, just.
what does that
just-
mean?
Just
Just
Well,
pony
no one
riders.
saw that because he's hiding. He's not on camera. So
No, but he's riding a horse over here. What
He's
does that
doing
mean?
something.
That's Wyoming.
Wyoming's horses.
That's
it was
it.
just wide open, just big wide open spaces, just as far as your eye could see. Just
Yeah.
What was,
pretty
the
wide open.
what was the reservation we went through?
I don't remember the reservation.
You don't remember the reservation, or you don't remember the name?
Don't remember the name.
But
Well,
they didn't
okay.
have a reservation.
He's
But
like,
she- but
I don't
she
remember the
but
reservation
the
at all.
reservation she had, I mean, her name was a reservation, wasn't it?
I'm sorry?
Her name was reservation, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't remember.
Neither one of you had one, so it's not a problem.
Wow.
All right, so when you
I
guys,
just got-
so let's bring this back in. So we're planning road trips. So we've all done road trips together, the four of us, right? We've gone to Eureka Springs, different groups of us, right?
Right.
We've down in Arkansas. We've done.
Don't
other
compare
trips.
our trip to Eureka Springs. Please don't do that to me.
Do you think
don't
that trip was
diminish.
better than Eureka Springs?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really? How so?
It's amazing out there.
All right.
We all want to move there now. And you
Because of
jump-
why? Tell me why.
No mosquitoes, no bugs, no humidity. Every place you go
Okay.
is beautiful. No question.
You do know they get a winter like we don't have. You know that,
Oh,
right?
it's different. It's different.
It's different. All right. It's a dry snow.
No.
I don't know what you mean. I don't
know.
What do you mean it's different?
I followed this guy across the Cameron Pass at 10,500 feet in the sleet and rain.
We did. We got sleeted on. Yeah.
So you're ready to do it again?
And now we followed hail damage on our bike, so we get extra money.
That's fine. That comes in.
Do you
too.
really have hail damage on your bike?
No.
But now, seriously, would you guys really move out there?
Oh,
yeah. You would. Are you considering it?
No, but
Yes.
He would leave this.
Jim says yes.
You think Bad Roadie's going to leave the opportunity to be on this show?
I know this is a big.
Hey,
you know,
we can go. We can do the beer fest from out there. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I hear you.
By the way, you get the worst visuals because all we see are your hands. For God's sakes, he just keeps jumping his hands in there.
But here's the beer fest right here. Here you go.
Yeah, all right.
But what is the difference between Missouri and Colorado?
Well, the humidity, your higher elevation, so no bugs. The temperature feels better. I mean, it just really. I mean,
do you guys get weirded out at all being in the mountains where you're like, good God, there's a mountain here, there, and here, and I'm like trapped within that?
There were a couple times, some of the roads, particularly the $1 Million Highway. I mean, there is literally no.
The white line. The white line.
The white line is the
right.
end of the
There's
road,
no guardrail,
and it's gone. No.
Yeah, right.
No.
There's no guardrail.
Right.
No guardrail.
It's like going up Pikes Peak. They do that Pikes Peak race, and there's no guardrails.
I mean, so I mean, there were some points where it's like I think even the white line was gone. I mean, it was just that was it.
Boy, that was a pretty good trip. On the white line.
You do know that's where you
Thank
stop.
God for the Prius holding us back. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Thank God the Prius in the front
always
of
a
us holding
Prius.
us back.
It's always
But seriously, there's nothing there. And what is the drop off on that side?
I don't know. And really, I mean,
half a mile.
So it's not like you stop and look because I mean you got people behind. There is no place to pull off and look. I mean, but you're cruising along some of these roads, and there are a couple times where I think we met a semi on the inside circle, and so we're on the outside, and of course the outside is dropping off, and I mean, so that is it. There is nothing.
Yeah.
there.
So if he bleeds over.
Yeah. If he takes a wide berth on that road, then.
Right.
Then
on purpose, on accident, it doesn't matter.
You're just going to stop.
Right. But let me bring this back to road trip. Okay, yes. Can you compare Arkansas to Colorado? Not necessarily. But the whole point of this is when you look to go do a road trip, whether it's Little Sturgis in Kentucky, or it's Eureka Springs in Arkansas, or it's going out to Colorado, or it's whatever. What is it as you go to plan that trip in your brain? What are you looking for? Are you looking for the ride? Are you looking for the sights? Are you looking for historic points or whatever? I mean, what in your brain as we put together these road trips, what is it in your mind that you go, I got to have this first, then this, then this?
Well, I think you miss the whole point of it. If you got to have something this and this and this, you miss the whole point of the ride.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
It's about the adventure. You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
I think it's really about the
But
experience.
why do you choose one over the other? Why do you choose Colorado versus doing something to going to Sturgis
now
or
Chris,
doing something else?
he'd been on the Mid-Ohio Highway. I had not been there.
Well, there you go.
But we went.
So you had intent.
Well, yes. My buddy Fish, though, that was a better ride because
it was.
You get behind a guy that's been there for 30 years. You had to worry about where you're going. You had to find a road. You just get out there and you ride and enjoy yourself.
You got a guide.
You got a guide.
I think there's a lot to be said, Jim, for what you said, that you're missing the point if you start prioritizing and working on it. But I was already doing it when I was asking you, like, what's important and how was the breakfast and this and that. It's just about rolling the dice.
Right.
Yeah, I mean.
And you go, that was a great ride, and that was a really shitty diner that we hit. Right?
Right.
Well, that was a great diner, but the ride was okay.
So Kimball and I, we did the same thing 4 years ago, pretty much exactly to the day.
On his birthday, on Homeboy's birthday, 28th of August.
So we did the same thing. We went out east. We did Taylor.
Our guide was the same. His birthday's the same day as his.
Okay. So 4 years ago we did the same thing. We went east. We went Taylor Dragon, and it was kind of the same thing. All Jim and I just said, all agreed on was like we're going to pick a day when we leave, and then we're going to go, and that's really all we talk about. Right. It's like what time are we going to leave? And then this is the direction we're going to go.
What time's your wife leaving town?
Right.
Who decides the first map outage of the area? Who's deciding how?
I can tell you between the two of them who's actually more planned than the other. You want to take a guess?
Well, I can take a guess, but I would like Jim to speak up for his own behalf. Do you have any idea where you're going when you leave town?
East, west, or north.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
He threw a south in there also.
Right.
And that's how this trip was. Really, it's Jim just said, hey, I want to go and ride $1 Million Highway. It's like, all right, let's pick a day and just go. And so I think it wasn't until the day we left, I was like, all right, so where are we going to stop for the night? And it really was just a matter of we just went until I think we just got fucking tired of driving.
Right.
And that's where we stopped for the night. And so the same thing with now he did plan to stay at the state park, which was gorgeous. It was a beautiful park.
He had some hell of a shots, man.
And
beautiful.
So and that's really about the extent of the planning that we went into. It's like, okay, he's got we've got a few nights reservation at this park. From there on, we'll do this. And
do you worry about what you're packing, like milk and ice and a couple of
hey, we took
Pop-Tarts?
We took a floor jacket, brother.
Well, it's a little different too because they're trailering a little bit.
Right.
So it wasn't like you guys left on 2 bikes from here. You've done that before.
You've done that
past.
We've done that before.
This was a little different because going across Kansas sucks. Let's be honest.
The two of us, and this for those who are catching us right here in the middle of this,
just the two of us.
We're way too much into planning, and here you guys just roll out of town on 2 bikes, whether it was from here or whether it was from Silverton.
To do that.
You just leave and
you
you're like,
have not near enough booze in you when you plan. You have too much. You're too sober. You got to loosen up
it has
a
to do
little
with
bit.
what we do for a
couple
living.
Gummies.
That's the
You
problem.
need a couple gummies or something. I'm saying you got to chill out a little bit.
yeah.
Why don't we
chill
do
out
this?
a
Let's take a
But
couple of gummies and throw at a
give
map.
him a gummy.
little. Yeah. Did he get a gummy on this trip?
No.
I take that as a yes.
I don't know that he needs a gummy, to be honest
Probably
with
many
you.
gummies. Would you fish me out another beer of some variety over here?
Yeah, I could do that.
How about a blue moon, buddy?
Nope.
No, I don't have any blue moons. Here.
Nope. Not for a blue moon.
Let's go.
No.
Oh, here we go.
All right, what do you got?
Let's do a little highlight.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah,
India Pale Ale
yeah,
from
there you
Cigar City
There
Brewing.
you go. There you go.
No, I think there are a lot of people listening that are very envious of you guys doing what they think all bikers do. We don't. But you guys are like the 2%ers. You actually go out there. You guys go out there and you actually roll and just like wherever the throttle takes us is where we're going to go. You've done it.
It was. I mean,
I've heard stories about you guys not having a hotel for hundreds of miles.
Oh yeah. The trip we did 4 years ago. I mean, we really just rode until it got close to the evening. It's like, all right, let's just find a place where we think we're gonna.
That we don't think we're going to get killed in.
We're not going to get
Don't
killed
think
in.
the bikes will get stolen. Where can we roll the bikes into the room?
It doesn't work out. I mean, the first night that we left 4 years ago, that was a disaster.
Right.
But fortunately, that worked. And
He didn't
then-
like the hair in his bed. I wasn't sure what the problem was.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah,
but then
there's
there's
that.
also you guys on that particular trip. You guys chased the weather.
We did. We were outrunning Hurricane Harvey.
Same thing this time though.
Same time this
similar,
thing,
similar.
we were trying to outrun a storm that was coming in through Silverton. But
And you did outrun it.
we did outrun it. I mean, yeah. So we got out of Silverton really just in the nick of time. We managed to pack up camp when it was still not raining. It ended up raining. I think the last few things we were trying to load in the trailer, it was starting to rain then. And then we drove in rain pretty much all the way until we got to Loveland. I mean, it just pretty much rained the entire time.
We covered the whole state though, brother.
We did. We did cover the whole state.
How many miles on the bikes? Not just in the vehicle, but the
Close
trailer.
to 800 miles. Close
yeah,
to,
probably.
close to
We-
800.
Nice. That's a
probably
great
logged-
trip. That's a good trip.
But I got to tell you,
Oh,
I mean,
and by the way, how many miles were on the trailer? Because it's so far from here.
2,400.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
2,400.
2,400 miles that, by the way, on the bike, it's not really that enjoyable.
Well,
No.
here's what I will tell you though. Home Slice over here has this brand new GMC that
Oh,
it does just
yeah.
about everything for you.
That thing
inside
wiped
that
my
thing.
ass when I got out.
I'm telling you, dude.
Tell him.
That is a
That was the
beautiful
shit, man.
truck.
You said
Hey,
you said it wiped your ass.
Buy a GMC. It's a beautiful truck. Wipes your ass, cools your breast. It's a whole 9 yards. All good.
Your breasts need cooling.
They did.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Did they caress them a little bit too?
It massages you. Massage.
Wait, you sure that wasn't the hitchhiker you picked up that was sitting in the back seat?
Yeah.
That was her name, Reservation.
Yeah, I believe that it was. At some point, I'm hitting this button, and I don't know when it's going to be.
Wait, what? Hitting the?
This button right here.
Oh, I see.
I think you guys. I am envious of you guys doing this. I really am.
It was a great trip.
And I think
It
I'd
was.
rather do the trailer out to Colorado and from that point
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
let's go anywhere you want to go.
But pretty soon you come out and visit me and
Let
Chris.
me-
We're going to cabin in the
When
woods.
you get that cabin.
That's it.
Tom,
T-
tell me
together?
about
Together.
California and the best rides, including like places
Down
for
the
a diner.
coast. Down the coast.
That's the best.
I'm
Highway
telling
Is
you.
that Highway
baby.
1?
Highway 1. You
it.
start just south of San
On
Francisco
a bike.
on a motorcycle, and you follow the entire
South.
coast all the way through Santa Barbara, Ventura. You get into L.A. You get through that crap a little bit, all the way down to San Diego. That's the ride. We've talked about this a
Have
number
you ever
of
taken it
times.
further and gone into Mexico?
You could. I don't know
Have
that I
you
would
taken a
recommend
bike
it.
into Mexico?
No.
I feels like a lack of protection.
I
down
have
there.
spent a lot of money.
Well,
I don't want to wear a
TJ
helmet as much as I want to wear a car.
There's actually a ride that does that ride. There's
all the
actually
way
a ride.
down. It goes
Yes.
all the way down to
Yes, there's
Central
a
America.
bunch of guys get together.
On pavement.
Yes, but there's a guys they ride down in the Baja, whatever, out of California.
Yeah.
There's actually a ride.
We've talked about this, but once again, when you live in the Midwest like we do, and some people will give you shit about it. Like, people go, hey, we're going to go to Sturgis from here. Dude, it's 900 miles to go to Sturgis. So you put the bikes in a trailer, you enjoy the trip up, relax, and then when you get up there, you have the energy to enjoy 4, 5, 6, 7
Well, and the
days
fact
riding.
is, from right here, we can leave town and be on some great roads immediately.
Dude, I can
we
pull out of my
spend hours
I can pull
on
out of
great
my
roads.
neighborhood right now
Yeah.
and swing a right and be on back roads that are amazing.
You're
and
not swinging left.
And
Every once in a while I swing left, but I tend to swing right. In case you're wondering, I tend to swing right, not left.
That's not what your wife said because your water's soft.
wow.
No, wrong guy. Wrong guy, pal.
My water's
Wrong
soft.
guy.
My water's soft. So, but I think
We should reconsider telling him that we're doing the show. We
Right.
should tell him we're doing the show at like 8 o'clock at night.
Hey, I got networks, brother.
there
Oh,
are these
I'm aware.
there are these beautiful places to catch some great rides,
Yeah.
and
There are.
sometimes there are barren spaces between that and the next great ride. And so while you have them right here, and by the way, Arkansas is amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It is.
No, it really
It's
is. I mean,
amazing.
It is. I mean, yeah.
Colorado's fantastic.
Colorado's fantastic.
But the pig trail in that area down in that northwest corner of Arkansas is one of the top places in the country to ride. We've all done it in different groups together.
But you won't see the vistas that you guys saw in Colorado.
it's Colorado,
no,
it's
you don't get that. I mean, it's different.
Hey,
you know,
we should all go to Colorado on 28th of September and watch Samantha Fish on
at
the
Mishawaka
Mishawaka.
Amphitheater. Yeah,
Amphitheater.
that was a beautiful
Dude,
place.
on
they
the-
got their
on
own
the- what is
freaking
it?
language.
They do.
going
They
on
have their
there.
own.
They're like
They're
probably blood brothers.
Just
Look,
so you know,
reservation.
hey, put your
Just so you
palms
know.
up. Do you guys have scars on your palm? Were you blood brothers on this trip or something? What happened here?
Oh yeah, see that shit's there.
Just
All
so
right,
you
just
know,
checking.
I've been on bike to the Mishawaka. I just want to let you know that. All up Poudre River Canyon. You better believe it.
What did you say?
Poudre River.
Poudre River, baby,
Canyon.
it's the shit right
The
Yeah.
there.
bitch river? What
And we
did you
stayed
just
up
say?
in there.
Poudre.
We stayed up in that Poudre. I stayed up in there for some time. And we went over the Continental Divide and looking for moose, but we didn't see any. But it's a beautiful area.
We saw bear. We saw wild bears
yeah.
out there.
So was it black bears?
I like that
Black
you had to
bears.
state that they were wild bears versus like local bears.
We didn't make the we missed the Denver Zoo exit. I'm just saying.
That's right. You know, we
Sounds
ran
like
into
fun. No,
Yogi
I'm-
Bear.
I think that's cool. You guys got to see that up there.
It was awesome.
In Jellystone Park.
Oh, by the way, any fires up there or smoke or
Lot of
Saw a
residue?
lot
smoke,
of
right?
saw a lot of fire
Well,
scar.
There was those helicopters that were flying out.
There was a few
There was
things.
a fire somewhere. They were
How
flying.
was the smoke coming in from California from all the fires? Were you getting a haze or anything?
In Loveland, we got haze.
Are you sure that was the fires?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
purple
But,
haze, baby?
but in Silverton, it was clear. The first night, like I said, we had a beautiful night. I've got some great photos of the Milky Way.
You
know,
should go on his
So,
website and buy some
um,
shit. They're beautiful.
Yeah,
But,
give out your website. Go ahead. Give it out. Give it out.
well, anyway,
Give it up, baby. Come on,
Give it out.
Give it
Come
up,
on,
baby.
give it out.
CialisGuy.com, is that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, really, give it out.
ChrisKendrickPhotography.com.
Thank you.
Chris Kendrick
With a K.
Photography.com.
K-E-N-D-R-I.
Photography is spelled with a PH. Go on. Sorry. You almost lost it.
Versus an
Up
F.
your nose.
How do you spell photography? With an F?
He was enjoying that. All right, go on. So you got some good photography.
But Loveland, there was haze. I mean, you could see. You know,
It rained, kind of cleaned up a little
Yeah,
bit.
it did.
Nice,
But yeah, it was definitely, a little more cloud going on in
Have you guys been up to the complete absolute Northwest on bikes?
Like Seattle?
Yes.
Washington? No.
Yeah.
Vancouver?
I'm
all
really
that.
interested to know what that's like.
So I have a buddy that lives in Seattle who is a huge
What's her name?
motorcycle rider.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his name is Robert. His girlfriend's name is Ginger, who I
Oh,
grew up
I like
with.
ginger.
There you go. And so
I like
he
Marianne.
rides like enduro bikes and other bikes, but weather challenges. It's really wet up there all the time.
But I want to
I
ask
like
about
it when
I
it's
want to
wet.
ask about the other riding around the country. Who has taken the southern route to California on a bike? Anybody?
Nope.
In a car? Anybody?
Sure.
Semi truck.
No,
You
I've done
have.
it. I've done it in the car. Yeah.
Okay. When I was a child, but otherwise no.
Yeah.
And you've done a semi.
Yeah.
Were you driving?
You had a
Yes.
semi when
You
were
were
on the
earning.
drive?
You were
What did
earning your
say?
trip in the side seat. I got
That's
it.
it.
That's
No,
fine.
no, don't.
Who's ridden in Florida? Boring.
No. Yeah, it's
very boring.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
It's very flat and straight lines. So if you ever think, hey man, let's go to Florida, I think possibly renting a bike in Miami and going out to the Keys may be interesting.
No, it's not.
Not even that.
I've done that.
Hey,
not
so
even that.
as we speak, two of my friends are trailering to Homestead, Florida, to ride from my homestead to Key West.
To Key West, and you're saying it's not exciting?
No, it's not. It's
not.
It's
It's
all
highway.
straight. There's
It's
nothing
highway.
there. You can't see anything. You'd be better off just getting a
It's
convertible.
it's worse than pootering, right?
Yeah, you might as well get a Miata and just hang out with each other. For
Actually, a Miata with a it sounds actually good.
Right.
So
Get
a
a
motorcycle,
Jeep,
no.
Get a Jeep, get a convertible, but bike.
Which is funny because Daytona Bike Week is huge, but it's really just a big gathering of bikes. There's no big rides or anything.
I mean,
The only
There's
good
nothing
thing
to
is
do.
it's warm weather in the
That's
early
it.
spring, right?
Which we've done that. 10 years ago, we went to Daytona Bike Week, and then we rode from Daytona all the way down to the Keys, and there's really nothing to see.
Yeah,
it's boring.
yeah.
It's all straight.
The only
There are no
great
curves.
thing about the
boobs.
Florida ride, we were with family, which was wonderful, and we saw Major League Baseball in spring training. However, it was getting to be harvest season for and I don't know
For
anything.
organs?
I don't know
For
anything.
tourist organs?
I don't know anything about oranges.
Oh,
But
my side hurts. What happened?
the blossoms.
Ice pack.
The orange blossoms were amazing, and so when you're out in the open air on the bike, you just kept taking these huge breaths of air.
Kind of like
through-
the skunk weed.
Well,
Like
it's
skunk
It's
way
it's
better.
similar. It's similar, but
No,
not
but
quite.
it's way better than on a hot Missouri Saturday when you're riding and something's dead in the ditch and you get a
smell that.
waft of it and you start chewing it a little bit because it's thick.
Yeah.
Or northern Arkansas, and you get on the poultry barns.
Oh, there's
that-
nothing-
that could be good.
Or you hear banjos in North Arkansas. That's not a
There,
good sign.
turkey farms.
Actually, I turned toward those.
Turkey farms and hog farms are two
That's
of the
where the
worst
party is,
things.
brother.
They are. They're
Oh
the
my
worst.
god.
That's
Dude,
where
this
the
has
party
been-
is.
This has been fun. All right, so my last question is this.
This is the last. He's giving me a cue right now that
last
we're ready to end
last
this
question. You ready? One sleeping bag or two? I'm just asking.
Two
As a-
tents.
Two, baby. Two tens.
You created two
thing.
tents.
That music and get us the hell out of here. I don't want to know the answer to this thing. We created 2 tents. What? Wow.
Dude, I love this. One of
You
my
guys
favorite
are
shows
fun.
in a long time.
Honestly, I think a lot of people would love, even if they don't ride, just to get in a car and say, we're going to start heading off.
Yeah.
East, what'd you say? East, west, south, north?
Doesn't matter.
It's all
You
full,
said it
baby.
in a weird
He
delivery.
spins
there.
a bottle, and that's how he
Doesn't
goes.
matter.
That's it.
You guys
Had a
are
good
our
show, my
heroes
friends.
this time around. Thank you. Here's to you. Bye.
This has been a podcast story. Tom's World Beer Tour. For future episodes, download and subscribe where you get your podcast, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeart, and Amazon Music. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or send us an email at tomsworldbeertour@gmail.com. All content property of Tom's World Beer Tour, copyright 2021. No beer was harmed during this production. Only consumed.